Hello creatives, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to dive in to the next design principle in this series. That is going to be two of them. One of them is going to be layout, and then the other one is proximity. Now they kind of go hand in hand, and we're also going to see the previous ones of balance, hierarchy, and alignment come into this as well. So let's dive in. This is a design that has all the elements in there. So let's break this down. First of all, layout. There are many different kinds of layout in design, but there are more common ones. For instance, ones that are grid-based and modular-based. So grid-based, there is a 2-column grid for this design. There's also a modular design layout that is being utilized as well, as you can see by the top and bottom corners of this piece. And the words grow and the plant is also aligned completely centered in this design as well. When it comes to layout, this design is very well balanced because you have topography up at the top left corner and you also have topography on the bottom right corner. That gives the entire piece balance throughout, as well as it being centrally aligned down the middle of the page. When it comes to alignment, you can see that there is alignment right here from the words growmore.com and grow. It is aligned there with making sure that we account for marks and bleeds as far as the page itself when it comes to print. Now, this is a poster design, so it will be printed. So we need to account for marks and bleeds. Marks and bleeds are the border on the page where you don't want anything to be cut off. So for the marks and the bleeds, they have a standard size, and you can see that right here. The organic fertilizer and growmore.com do follow that. So that is the layout. And when it comes to proximity, proximity is the space in between elements. So for instance, the organic fertilizer, treat them right, that proximity is very tight because it is grouped together. However, there is still some nice letting and kerning going on within that area. Now, the proximity of organic fertilizer to the plant and grow is a lot more spaced out because they are separate, but you want them all to relate. However, you want that negative space there to cause a nice pause or break. That way you can move your eye through the piece nice and smoothly. The plant does grow up towards the organic fertilizer, so you get to see that it blossoms towards that message. Down in the bottom right, you have growmore.com, and that proximity is a little bit closer to the plant and to grow, so that way everything is still connected, but you still have a bit of negative space there, so that way you have a little bit of a pause. Now, proximity for the word grow and the plant is very tight because they are very close together in the message. The company wants you to grow with them and also help to grow your plants. So that proximity is very tight. There's no space in between. What works very well with this piece is the negative space both to the right and to the left that allow you to have a visual pause. And you want to have that visual pause because you don't want to overcrowd the piece with a lot, especially if it's an organic brand like this one. You definitely don't want to overcrowd the space. You want to have that pause. You want to have space to breathe, in a sense. The relationship between what is happening centrally in the design and the top left and bottom right corners, those spaces are pretty even, and they do help with the overall feeling of the design. When something is not placed in the right proximity, you notice it quite quickly. For instance, if growmore.com was up here, you will realize that, oh, that doesn't feel right. That's because the proximity is too close and it creates too much tension. So you don't want a lot of tension going on in a nice, natural, organic company like this. You want everything to flow and be fluid and be kind of calm in a sense. that is proximity, layout, and alignment all working together in this piece. I did mention balance before. Balance also helps this piece because you have the top left and the top right being taken up by text. That gives it a nice equal balance on both sides of the design. And then you have this beautiful, strong central structure of the plant and the word grow. So the balance is quite even on both sides of the design without being overladen with a lot of information. There are lots of different layouts that you can utilize. It depends on the design itself. For instance, if you wanted all the information to the top left, you can do that as well. However, you will have to change the lettering and the kerning of the text so that they can connect with each other. And then if you wanted your layout to be completely different, then we can do that as well. We can move the central design over to the right, and then we can have all of our information over to the left. And that way it'll create a nice balanced piece, especially if there were to be more information on this design. For instance, if this was going to be put in a magazine, you would want more information over here instead of having the information broken up across the piece. I hope this video helped you figure out your layout design and will help you to apply these layouts in your pieces and helped you to understand proximity a little bit better. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon, creatives.